Chris, the Dating Doc Feliciano here, and this entire podcast is going to be about some of the craziest, nuttiest, borderline dangerous situations that I've experienced as a dating coach. Stay tuned. So I don't know anyone else out there in the podcast world. Is it me, or do your dogs or pets strategically know when to make noise when they're starting up podcasts? Like, I swear, I was about to start hitting play, or I should say record, and next thing you know, here comes my dog. I can hear her moseying down to go eat her food. Always does this when I'm about to push play on my podcast. And it's funny because I just turn around and look at her, and she just has this like, hey, life is good. You guys can argue and talk about politics and riot. I don't even have to put on clothes. You just let me outside, let me get some sun, eat my food, pet me. Life is good. But yeah, life is good. A lot of us forget that. A lot of us have become cynics in life in general. And you got to remember, plenty of that has to do with your information diet. Okay. Are you are you receiving the nutrients you need information wise? Or are you the type that likes junk information, junk food when it comes to your brain? This could be anything from believing any and every news that comes at you fast without doing the intended research. This could be the fact that you even find comfort in being negative. So that's something I'm going to go into. Some of these are going to be crazy stories that I personally have gone through as a dating coach, where I've had some just wild people that are prospective clients or clients that needed a therapist more than a dating coach. And for those that are listening that are in my space, that are date coaches, matchmakers, or in the dating service industry, you may relate to some of these stories. So stay tuned. So I'm going to share a story that literally happened yesterday. I'm going to kind of work backwards here because I'm going to go from most recent and then go into some other crazy stories of clients or prospective clients and how they, again, need a therapist. So people find me in all different kind of ways, right? They visit my website, they see a social media ad, and they'll contact me and say, hey, look, I'd like to set up a free call to find out what my options are and how you can help me as a dating coach. And part of what I do is I provide initial dating advice. This is a good way for them to see how I coach and that I know what I'm talking about. At the same time, what I'm doing on my side is I'm gauging, hey, is this a person I even want to work with, right? Because I'm not one of these folks that just will desperately work with anyone who's willing to pay. I have to keep my own sanity. And being a dating coach, as you may guess, is similar to a therapist, a counselor, life coach. So, you're going to deal with people that if they're reaching out to you, there's a couple different type of folks, right? There's the folks that really need help. And I mean, generally in life, they need a therapist. They need some pills. They have some chemical imbalance where they hate the world, and they may even want to do some bad things to people because of how much they hate the world. Okay. And I've ran into those people, and that's what I'm going to go into. And then you got the other kind of folks that they are professionals. They understand that a dating coach research and is niche into the subject of dating, and they just They just want a strategy. They just want to be able to extend their skills. Again, they're professionals, they're mentally sane, emotionally healthy, and they understand, hey, look, maybe I'm a master at work, keep myself in shape, have a good circle of family and friends. But hey, why not get some expert advice from a dating coach so I can make my dating life a little bit better, right? So that's kind of the line, and you have gradients in there. So without further ado, the person that texted me yesterday, I said, hey, let's set up a call. So we set up a call for yesterday afternoon. And as courtesy before the call, I just text him and tell him, hey, look, be calling you here in 10 minutes. So, be on the lookout. Started the call, and right away I noticed very, very, very awkward silences. I'm the kind of guy that likes to at least get a little icebreaker going, just kind of get to know who they are, tell them a little bit about who I am as a person, and just get a little conversation going for the first 5 minutes. This person would not budge. I mean, it was just awkward silence. And then just basically going into some other tangent, right? So for example, I would ask, hey, so, I'm based out of San Antonio. I noticed your area code. So just out of curiosity, do you live here in San Antonio or, where you're from, where you're at? Awkward silence. And literally, I'm frustrated with dating. It was something to that effect, right? Just basically disregarded my question and just focused on what they want, which I was like, okay, that's fine. There's some people that get easily annoyed. They don't want to hear the salesy stuff, or they're so cynical. They assume that any kind of rapport building conversation, they just want to get straight to the point. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me try to adjust it a little bit. And so I deep dived right into his issue. And he literally, I'm not even kidding, literally tells me how frustrated he is. And, that he doesn't want to compete on online dating because he hates how some of these women are going for a certain type of guy. So I acknowledge what he said. And I said, it seems to me like you are flustered. You're frustrated with dating. And, it's something where you have either have had some pent up negative feelings about dating. And I, again, acknowledging what he's saying. Awkward silence. And he says, no, that's not what's going on. I said, okay. So I kind of bypassed that. All right. So I did a little more discovery. Are you using online dating? Are you going out meeting women, pre-COVID? When's the last time you went on a date? He told me he went on a date 5 years ago, and it was the one and only date he's been on. So that was a little bit concerning because, he's obviously having to do a lot of work, hasn't had any real practice with dating. But it's going to get juicier here, so stick with me because this is going to be crazy. So I talked to him. I said, hey, have you considered online dating? He says, look, I've gotten advice from other dating coaches, and it's made the situation even worse. And I said, how has it made it worse if you're putting more skill sets, more tools? And I said, yeah, I got it. Every dating coach has a different style. I completely understand, but what do you mean it's making it worse? And again, he just talks about the rejection and how much hope he's lost to the point that he wants to take his own life. Now that's very concerning. Regardless how cray you may come off, I do not condone someone taking their own life because of dating. So I used an example. I told him, I said, sport athletes and, other folks, when they lose a game or they lose a match, they don't dwell on that loss too long because they do internal feedback and then they go back and they do better. They get back in the game. So what I told him, I said, look, first off, you're too hung up on the validation of woman, and it seems like you're prioritizing dating, even though he's not doing it. You're prioritizing your dating life, and again, the validation, the emotional dependence on it higher than some of these other things. And I asked him, I said, hey, where does dating rank when it comes to family, friends, workplace, all that stuff? He hangs up on me, right? So at first I thought it was a disconnect. I thought, the line just disconnected. He was driving around or something. So I texted him. I said, did you hang up or did the line disconnect? I'm reading this verbatim. Okay, no response. But frankly, and I know some of you are going to say you should have kept it professional. I was a little bit pissed. I was. Because again, hanging up when I'm doing a free call, I hold people accountable. So I'm not the customer service guy like, hey, well, cool, well, good luck to you. I wanted to find out a little bit more, and I take pride in what I do and my time. So I texted, do you understand how disrespectful of my time and energy it is to hang up on me? So he put, sorry, comma, it seems I'm out of hope, in quotations. Keep trying is not the advice I needed. So I responded, hanging up is not what I needed. You need to quit being so self-absorbed on only your needs and realize what a woman would want. Dating is not a tangible product that is guaranteed. It's something that needs to be worked on every day. I wish you the best of luck, but it all starts with the person in the mirror. If you can't grow hope within yourself and you don't want to listen to a dating coach, then I don't know what to tell you. His response. I used to look at myself in the mirror many times, but after the big failure, I can't do that anymore. Everyone is not LeBron. Let's talk about LeBron James. Again, another text from him. I never responded to this previous text. Again, this follow-up text. This follow-up text sealed the deal and told me this dude is cray-cray. You are saying I should be gay and go through 50 shades of BS. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. Okay, again, nothing prompted this. I never spoke about sexual orientation or 50 shades of gray, any of this. Again, I'm going to read this again. This is his response. You are saying I should be gay and go through 50 shades of BS. Wow. My response, it was the final text that I sent, was, you need a therapist, not a dating coach. Do not contact me again. So that was just one example of the kind of people that I deal with. And, what's crazy is we go out of our way. Many dating coaches have like free sessions or, some sort of incentive so you can at least find out what we're all about before you decide to pay. So we schedule our life around these free calls. And this is the kind of cray-cray we run into. So yeah, would love your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Was I in the wrong for engaging? Again, I'm a different kind of cat. I'm not the kind that just would simply say, good luck to you, because I do want to hold people accountable, because that's just me in life. I'm the kind of guy that I reach out. If a friend says, hey, I just need some chill time, I give them that chill time. But instead of ignoring them for days or weeks, I reach out. And same thing as a dating coach. Someone tells me some crap or hangs up on me, I don't just say good luck or ignore them. I'm going to be like, hey, no, we're going to find out what the hell's going on. So, would like your thoughts. Better ways I could have handled it. Or if I handled it well, I'll take that as well. And also, what do you think about this dude? Is he, what would you diagnose him as? I'll be curious. If you've ever thought about date coaching, but you're wondering, Chris, what's the price going to be and how does it all work? Contact us, okay? There's plenty of ways to contact us. You can go to TheDatingDoc.com and hit contact us. You can visit us on Instagram, TheDatingDoc, admin at TheDatingDoc.com. Plenty of ways to reach us. Bottom line, right now during this pandemic is a perfect time to work on yourself, okay? Before we get back into being social again and restaurants and bars opening up and you going on a thriving dating journey, you need to work on skills right now. That includes everything from communication, from getting over a breakup, from how to do online dating, how to project a positive mindset, and so much more. So reach out to us. That's all you have to do. Take the first step. If not, you're going to be in the same spot you are. All right, so second story was when I first started doing matchmaking and date coaching. This was through my first company, Synergy Dating. If you want to Google stock that, it's SC Energy Dating, Scene RGY, Synergy Dating. And that time, with any new business, you are trying to mature your product, find out, how much you're going to charge, what the agreements need to look like, and more importantly, what kind of clients you want to take on. Now, back then, being a company that was starting up, I was a lot more open on taking on more clients, right? I didn't have that experience to filter through. Now, corporate-wise, I had a little bit of experience as a account executive for a headhunting firm. So I knew how to gauge candidates when it came to the workplace. I was able to translate some of those skills over to as a novice rookie date coach. Again, this was 10 years ago, but definitely not a therapist, not a counselor, any of that sort. And again, it was one of those things where you just needed to get business going, and I knew in the back of my mind I needed that practice. So next story is this interesting cat who was my first ever male date coach client. And, we met up. He was in his mid-50s at that time and seemed really cool. We sat down and just had a chat. He told me about him being divorced for about a year or two and just wanting to get back out there and needed some advice on what's going on when it comes to online dating. What are the new rules? The last time he dated was, basically meeting courting his wife, which was, they were married for about, I think close to 20 years. So he was out of the game for a bit. I'm like, cool. Hey, that's totally fine. And we met up. He alluded to the fact he was still kind of dealing with the divorce. And I'm talking about dealing with it as in, still going to court, still harboring feelings, whether positive or negative. But again, I kind of heard that. I was like, all right, that's natural. It's 20 years together. I understand that. Okay, that makes sense. That's got it, right? It wasn't a concern. So I introduced him to one of my favorite female matchmaking clients at that time. He proceeds to call her, and I wish I kept the screenshot from phones ago. He called her 27 times in a row at around midnight as the first call, as a first initial call, right? Not a text and nothing like that. Midnight, which we know that's like booty call zone. That's shady zone time, right? When women assume the worst, like, man, here comes this dude, right? So I stopped him in his tracks because I got a text from her, and she's like, hey, this John guy just keeps calling me. And I thought in mid-sleep, because I got the text from her, mid-sleep, I saw that. I saw the screenshot of missed calls. And I seriously was going to ask her, hey, was that a spammer? I paused because I was half asleep, and I made sure I traced that number back to my male client. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? Come on now. So I said, hey, just ignore it. Matter of fact, block it, and I'll talk to him. So I talked to him, and this maybe be the only 1% advice I give on this podcast, right? Because I know some of y'all digging around for that advice. Dudes, you are not entitled to a woman's attention if you're gonna act like a dumbass, okay? If you act like a dumbass, women are the most, intuitive creatures. I mean, we think we might have like intuition, but man, they got a radar of intuition. So if you come off like a dumbass creep, you're gonna be treated like one, okay? But some of y'all feel so entitled, like, well, I did what I was supposed to. I tried to call her. No, dumbass. You don't call at midnight 27 times. The fact you're not even aware of how much you're coming off, come on, man. So I called the next day. I called him and I said, hey, what the heck is going on with you, man? You know what? Why would you put yourself in the shoes of a woman who's trying to get some sleep? It's like, well, yeah, I got busy at work. He's a postal worker, so I ain't gonna go into those, postal jokes here. But yeah, he tells me, well, I got busy at work and I wanted to hear from her. She seemed so lovely. I was like, look, dude. Again, it goes back to my first example. Woman, dating, they're not a tangible product. You don't just it's not X plus Y must equal Z. I think that's the problem with a lot of folks is they assume X plus Y must equal Z. Why am I not getting attention? It's not how it works, dumbass. So I talked to him and I even printed out top 10 commandments, dating commandments for my client. And, number one was will not call past 10 p.m. unless being allowed to, right? Something to that effect. Number two, will not come off desperate. Number three, will not bring up the divorce proceedings and whatnot. Gave him all this stuff. Even after I gave him all that, had that talk with him, a week or two later, the dude contacts me and says, hey, I need someone to come to my divorce proceedings. Can you be there with me? I said, no, dude, that is not what I do. Some people mistake my work and think I'm all buddy-buddy with them. That is not the case. Not the case at all. And I'm going to go into some more examples here in a second where, because I'm so honest with them, I still keep it very professional. But for some reason, because of the rapport building or whatnot, or because I tell it like it is, they suddenly think they're paying for a buddy. And that's not the case. Especially if you're not paying for it, but you're trying to buddy to get free advice. And I got a business to feed. But yeah, so needless to say, after the divorce proceedings stuff, I canceled it. I gave him a refund for the rest of the services. And that was that. Learning lesson, right? I didn't lose, I learned. I was like, okay, cool. I just need to filter a little bit better. So stay tuned for this next example. It's going to be kind of a general shot of what goes on in the life of a dating coach. Hey, how's it going? If you've ever thought about making your own podcast and you kind of get into that analysis paralysis, you don't know how to start, check out Anchor. I'm telling you right now, Anchor is at the edge of technology. It's the easiest way for you to get your podcast going. I mean, all you have to do is you start it up on your phone. You don't need any kind of crazy setup and advanced microphones or whatnot. You can do it off your phone or computer. And the cool thing about Anchor is that it automatically distributes it out to the most popular podcast platforms, right? So what I'm talking about is it can get it to you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money off your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's easy. And it's kind of an all-in-one. So check out Anchor, get your ideas, get your motivation out there into the public space. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started, okay? Download the app or anchor.fm to get started. So, believe it or not, yes, men go through sexual harassment and sexual assault. In the case of the sexual harassment part, that is something that has happened, continues to happen. The difference is that I don't I frame it for what it is. I know what my response should be, which means, hey, respect my boundaries, respect my parameters. If we did a gender reversal here, you probably could be pressing charges, or I would be pressing charges on that person. Happens weekly, where people, especially women, will go out of their way to talk about how attractive I am and whatnot. And here's the thing, right? Years ago, I would have ate all that up. I'd have been like, ooh, I appreciate that. Let me get your number, right? I have practiced so much stoicism, and I don't mean this to come off presumptuous, but I have practiced so much to kill the ego that mentally I don't fall into my own trap of just like eating up those compliments. Part of stoicism is you don't, and this is different from being stoic. Stoicism is all about not being overly joyed, but not getting to the point of depression or being sad, right? So being pretty even kill, if you want to break it down to layman terms. So when they hit me up with all this like, oh, he's so cute, and I tell them, I was like, oh, appreciate that. Are you interested in possibly working together? Me as your dating coach. Like, no, I just wanted to, tell you that. Then, and this is what I don't get. I had a fan on Instagram who I recently blocked, and who knows, she might be even listening to this right now, but if she is, this might benefit her so she understands where I'm coming from, because I thought it was a very, just not a cool scenario. So, it's one of those things where they'll send messages on my Instagram, mainly, because it's just faster for them to do that compared to like a Facebook. Send messages, basically asking how my day's going or whatnot. And I could tell they just want a response. But I am super busy, and I see it a mile away. I obviously, this is what I do. I see game a mile away. They want to feel validated. They want to feel like, hey, this person on Instagram that's got, right now I think I'm at over like 8,000 followers. Oh, he's giving me attention, which again is unhealthy to just like pull for that kind of validation. So I just stopped responding to some of those, right? That just continuously hit me up. And when I asked him, I was like, hey, and I'm very gentle and respectful. Can I help you? Do you want to work together? No, I just, want to talk about this and this and this. And I'm like, look, I ain't got that time. I'm sorry. I could be friendly or whatnot, but I am a business. Okay. People that work for me, social media manager. I've had freelancers that help me with my blogs and all that. I got to pay them. So you coming out here, you taking a little bit of my energy, and you're not about anything other than you just want me to say hi, like and that's different. If you come at me very natural, very cool about things, and you talk about theories of dating, and you don't even care if I give a response or not because you're doing your thing, that's totally different. And you could sense that. You could sense, intuition is a beautiful thing. But when you come at me with some like, did you get this? Did you get my text? I'm like, look, you ain't my woman. And especially not going to be when you talk, all these excuses on why, you don't want me to be your dating coach. I had a fan on Instagram, she might be out here listening to us, who says, I can't work with you because, getting basically, she didn't want to just straight up say it, which she should have. But basically what she was trying to get at was, I'm attracted to Latin men, and the danger of hiring you would be that you give me feedback and affirmation would just backfire. She should have said something like that, but instead it was something about, people sometimes try to come at me talking all smart because they want to match up to what I'm like, look, just be yourself, right? But so she said something like that. The same person, a couple weeks ago, I had a contest, and I was asking for ideas for my next Instagram live, because I switch up different subjects, right? So the last one was on interracial dating. And a couple weeks before that, I asked people for ideas. Like, hey, just throw one out there, just DM me any ideas you have. So this person sends me 5 or 6 messages, long messages, right? Not little short texts. I'm talking like a little novel. And I didn't have time to read that because mentally I'm at the point where I'm like, look, this woman wants my validation and I'm just not going to give her that, because then I'm soaking up my energy to try to make this person happy who has admitted that does not want to work with me as a dating coach. So I'm literally losing energy and time that I could be putting into a client that I'm working with or to get more clients. But instead I got to say hi to this fan who, again, she never said, hey, I'm going to introduce you to someone who might be interested or whatever. She's not adding to my side of it, right? So she sends me, long messages. I didn't read it. I didn't. I read like part of one and I was like, no, I'm done. I ain't got time for all this. And I do my interracial dating. I advertise it. She sends me a message that I did read. She says, hey, I got to call bullshit on you because I actually did submit an idea and, you basically stole it. So I'm like, what the heck is this woman talking about? So I go back and I check all her long novel. And yes, when you read all the stuff she read, basically, she didn't say interracial dating. She said something like, what do you think about people that have different melanin and blah, 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 and all this stuff? And I was like, whoa, man, like all you had to do was say, bring up interracial dating. And the crazy thing about it, this is someone who doesn't want to work with me as a dating coach, but then wants to call me out on some BS because of some, 2-page essay she sent me, and I'm supposed to try to figure out what her idea was for my next Instagram live. Sorry, that's not how it works. And by the way, the prize was like $20 Amazon Prime gift card that I was going to send to someone. Okay. So then I get done with my interracial dating Instagram live. Then she sends me a message, separate message, DM. And she's like, I thought you were a man of integrity. And I'm so mad at you because you didn't even talk about my idea. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with this woman? Right? I'm thinking, come on, man. Seriously? I put too much time and energy into this. And you're going to come out me. So here's the thing. We're in an age of cancel culture, right? Everyone wants to cancel every damn thing, right? Even things that make sense. People just want to see the world burn. Some things make sense when it comes to cancel culture, right? Racism, sexism, things of that sort. And then some people just want to go out of the way to cancel shit because they just want to see stuff change. I'm going to tell you right now, most of the time the cancel culture is directed towards a business or institution. Me as a business owner, I'm telling you right now, my cancel culture is against assholes that waste my time and energy, right? That's my little protest, okay? That's just the way it is, okay? Not everyone is entitled to this cancel culture and not think that the business is going to strike back. I will strike back. So what did I do? I just blocked the person. Probably one of my top quote unquote fans on Instagram, but for my own mental health and peace and clarity, I had to block that person. This is the kind of stuff that I deal with. So understand that, when people say, oh, okay, well, he's just giving, advice. And I help plenty of clients. And at the same time, I got to stay healthy, again, mentally, physically, to be able to provide services for my clients. So when I'm spending time trying to make one person happy that does not put any type of money or networking or doesn't help my business grow, why would he do that? That's counter-logical. It's the same like a relationship. If you're putting time and energy into someone who's not going to help you grow, you got to put a pause on that because your energy and your time is finite. You can get back your energy, but you can't get back your time, right? You can renew your energy through meditation, eating well, sleep, exercise, and those rest and recovery days, but you lose time with the wrong kind of people. So I'll leave with this. If you've made it all the way to the end of the message, it is people like what I've discussed that end up making me modify my business. Right? It's that old saying of sometimes it's that one person that messes it up for everyone else. Okay, I have lots of people that justify me modifying my business. I will always continue to be authentic, but I will not let my authenticity be taken advantage of to the point people think I'm buddy-buddy, because part of that authenticity is me telling you to take a pause and be like, no, all right, there's a dividing line here, even though I'm authentic, okay, because I care about you as a client or prospective client. Okay, I'm not going to be one of these like lame, neutral, professional people that just kind of treats you like a number. I'm still going to be me, but I'm still a business, and I'm going to protect that. So that's my cancel culture, is asshole clients or fans that want to waste my time. Okay, I'm here to help you. But if as a client, you don't want to respect that exchange, even if you're paying for me, I'm sorry. Even if you're paying for me, I'm not putting up with BS. Just like these people that don't want to wear the mask, even if you don't believe in it or whatever, add a courtesy. Okay, wear the mask. Even if you don't believe it, you're the biggest conspiracy theory. Okay, whatever. Wear your tinfoil hat and your mask, but do it out of courtesy. Okay? So it's the same thing. It's all about, comes down to mutual respect. So hopefully you enjoyed that. A little bit of retreat from the norm, but I needed to get that out. I think it's a cathartic experience for me, and maybe helpful for you to understand, a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes, and the kind of clients that I either deny or work with, and then find out that they need a therapist. So stay tuned for more podcasts. I really appreciate your support, and signing out here at Dating Doc. Go visit TheDatingDoc.com. Go check out some matchmaking date coaching. Take care.